Hi everyone, this is Clint from Persuasive Evangelism, and I'm at Lake Sacagawea sitting under a tree on this nice summer day. There's the lake. Today we're going to go over this book, The Creator and the Cosmos by Hugh. He's a Christian astrophysicist. I've read several of his books. He talks about God and science, and I've enjoyed every one. So this focuses on the universe and how scientific discoveries of the last 100 years have pointed to God and have made atheists question their theories and try to come up with new theories trying to keep God out of the picture, but it keeps pointing towards God, such as the Big Bang, how there is a beginning, what caused the Big Bang, but not only that the universe was created, it was created so fine-tuned on the universe level, the galaxy level, the solar system level, the star, the sun level, the moon level, the earth level, that if any little of these fine-tunings were off, life wouldn't exist. And as the years go by, they keep finding more and more stuff that is so fine-tuned that it's as if the universe was created for us to exist, to be able to live. And I think in the book it said, I think it started out with just a handful of fine-tuning elements, and then I think in the 70s or 80s, and then now it's up to over 1,000 fine-tuning. At the end of this book, Hugh lists 150 of them. But to give you an idea, like how fine-tuned everything has to be for us to exist. Like God created it so perfectly for us to exist, and if anything was off, we wouldn't. So it's given scientists pause as they learn more and more about the universe. Like they're thinking, even like atheists or non-Christians, like it looks like the universe was designed for us. So I'm going to read a few quotes. So from Hoyle, it says, "I do not believe that any scientist who examined the evidence would fail to draw the inference that the laws of nuclear physics have been deliberately designed." Davies says, "There is, for me, more powerful evidence that there is something going on behind it all. The impression of design is overwhelming. It seemed as though somebody has fine-tuned nature's numbers to make the universe." Astronomer George Greenstein says, "As we survey all the evidence, the thought insistently arises that some supernatural agency, or rather agency, must be involved. Is it possible that suddenly, without intending to, we have stumbled upon scientific proof of the existence of a supreme being? Was it God who stepped in and so providentially crafted the cosmos for our benefit?" And then physicist Freeman Dyson says, "I do not feel like an alien in this universe. The more I examine the universe and study the details of its architecture, the more evidence I find that the universe in some sense must have known that we were coming, because it's like so fine-tuned for us to be here." And then let me see. Stephen Hawking says, "It would be very difficult to explain why the universe should have begun in just this way, except as an act of God who intended to create beings like us." And then one other quote. This quote was actually in another book I read, I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist, but I like this quote. It says, I believe it's from Robert Jastrow, an agnostic. It says, for the scientist who has lived by his faith in the power of reason, the story ends like a bad dream. He has scaled the mountains of ignorance. He is about to conquer the highest peak. As he pulls himself over the final rock, he is greeted by a band of theologians who have been sitting there for centuries, who said, since the beginning, like the Bible says, in the beginning God created the heavens and earth. The universe did have a beginning, and so on. So I like that quote. And then in the back, there's 150, he lists 150 things that are fine-tuned. The first section is evidence for the fine-tuning of the Milky Way galaxy, solar system, and the first section is about the universe. I skipped ahead. Evidence for the fine-tuning of the universe. So he'll say something like, number 1, strong nuclear force constant. If larger, no hydrogen nuclei essential for life would be unstable. If smaller, no elements other than hydrogen. Weak nuclear force, gravitational force constant. electromagnetic force constant. Ratio of electronic magnetic force constant to gravitational force constant. Expansion rate of the universe. If larger, no galaxy formation. If smaller, universe would collapse prior to star formation. Entropy level of the universe. Ratio numbers of protons to electrons. Velocity of light. Age of the universe. Initial uniformity of cosmic radiation. Average distance between galaxies. Average distance between stars. Decay rate of a proton. Mass excess of the neutron over the photon. And then he has a section that's about the universe, and then he has a section about evidence for fine-tuning of the Milky Way, galaxy, solar system, and Earth. Galaxy cluster type, galaxy mass, galaxy type. Let's see. Distance from parent star, surface gravity. If stronger, planet's atmosphere would retain too much ammonia and methane. If weaker, planet's atmosphere would lose too much water. Distance from parent star. If farther, planet would be too cool for stable, efficient water cycle. If closer, planet would be too warm for a stable, efficient cycle. Inclination of orbit. Orbital is eccentricity. Rotation period. Planet's magnetic field. If stronger, electromagnetic storms would be too severe. Too few cosmic ray protons would reach planet's troposphere, inhibiting adequate cloud formation. If weaker, ozone shield would be inadequately protected from hard stellar and solar radiation. Thickness of the crust, carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere, water level in the atmosphere, oxygen quantity in the atmosphere, nitrogen quantity in the atmosphere, volcanic activity, separation, inward drift in major distant planets, Jupiter's mass. If it was greater, Earth's orbit would become too unstable. Jupiter's presence would too radically disturb or prevent the formation of Earth. If less, too many asteroids and comets collisions would occur on the Earth. So there's 150 of these at the end, and he goes through a lot of, in the book as well, a lot of explanation on all the fine-tuning, how there has to be all these habitable zones, and it's pretty amazing just how fine-tuned it is, and they just keep discovering and more how it has to be. The universe was created, there was a beginning, the universe was created, and it was created so fine-tuned that life could exist. So this is a great book. I would pick it up. I like all of his books, so you can also look him up on YouTube. Reasons to Believe, The Creator and the Cosmos by Hugh. Thanks everyone. Goodbye. God bless.